morning. Good morning. It is Saturday morning. It is May the 17th. Rise and shine, rise and shine. This is Coffee Talk. I'm West 2 First Warning Meteorologist Eric Burris. Thanks for joining. All right, let me crank the volume up because apparently my voice is inoperative this morning. So that's fun. And because I'm running late, get my protein shake out here. Oh my God. We're making a mess. All right. Where were we? Oh yeah, this is Coffee Talk. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Temperature wise, we're not doing too badly. We look outside on our tower cam and we're not doing too badly either. It is a lovely, lovely morning. But let's just go right to our 7-day forecast because this is the kind of heat that, especially the first time it hits, you really have to you have to take it easy. And I definitely am. I don't want to say I'm worried, but I just want to make sure everybody's aware of it because it's especially the first time we hit this for the year. You just have to be careful. That's the end of the day. You just have to be careful. So here we are, 7-day forecast showing 96 as our high temperature today. And yes, we'll get into the nitty gritty of neighborhood by neighborhood readings, but 96 today, it's a scorcher. 96 tomorrow, also a scorcher. Look at Monday and Tuesday, though. Yeah, we're talking about big heat, my friends. We are talking about big heat. As a matter of fact, records are expected or really and truly could be falling across the peninsula. Essentially, all of our records each day could be in jeopardy over the next 3, 4 days' time in Central Florida. Okay. So keep that in mind. When we talk about records for today, here's a look at the record numbers. All right. So we're at about 96 for our forecast in Orlando. The record 110 years old. Yeah. We're challenging that kind of a record. Okay. Records in Daytona Beach, Leesburg, Sanford, and Orlando, all in the ballpark of getting there. Melbourne, I think for you, you're probably going to be doing a little bit better just because at the end of the day, um, the way that the sea breeze is going to move, I think that you'll be doing okay. So let's discuss today's forecast, okay? For today, high temperature of 96 degrees in Orlando, 95 in Claremont, 92 in Wildwood, 94 in Bellevue, 95 degrees in the Villages, Bithlow, Wedgefield, Sanford, DeLand, 97 degrees. Yeah. Okay. There you go. So it is big heat. Big heat. Yes. Somehow setting a weather record is never fun. Well, when it comes to personality, Matt, you are extraordinary. You stand out. Anna, Amy, Bob, we all stand out. Each and every one of us. You don't want to be average. You don't want to be normal. But when it comes to weather, I could use a little normalcy. I personally desire that. And I have a feeling we all kind of do, right? Like, just give me a little bit of rain during the summer. Just give me a little bit of cool during the winter. Give me a little heat during the summer. I don't need this, right? And yeah, as very clearly written by Taylor, wear deodorant. Or those of you that don't like deodorant, what is it? You rub a lemon on whatever it is. I don't want to smell you. You know who you are. Rosemary says lots of dolphin sightings on the beach walk. That sounds just lovely. I can support that. Love that. Ah, I love that so much. Oh man. Okay, so that's our air temperatures. Now let's get into the feels like temperatures. All right. I have to type the words. Okay. All right. So let's get into the feels like temperatures here a little bit. Give it a second. It's got to load the grid. All right. So watch these feels like temperatures. Doot, 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 doot. Oh, this is good, right? So by lunchtime, feels like temperature 92 degrees. Love that for us. Love that for us. The Villages, 95. I'm just sitting back because it's so hot outside. 94 is the feels like temperature by noon in DeLand. 97 in Palm Bay. Let's keep going. Okay, 3 o'clock. Um, so I would add that the humidity clearly has started stepping up its game. Let's go back over here. Let me switch. Give me 2 seconds. The muggy meter. Now, if you watch Coffee Talk, we show this when it's applicable. But for right now, our muggy meter has shifted. The initial thought a couple of days ago when we were doing Coffee Talk is that the muggy meter would keep our dew points in the 60s, which is comfy, even upper 60s. But it didn't. Our dew point is now sitting at 70. And over the next couple of days, notice it may not be a significant shift, but you can see that dew point doing its thing, right? So, yes, it's humid, which then exacerbates the feels like temperatures. 99, the 3 p.m. feels like temperature in the Villages. 101 in Palm Bay, because you're going to be right at the shore. That sea breeze comes in and blah. That's the meteorological term, yes. 4:30, 5 o'clock. Feels like around 100. Now, again, this is a model, so take it for what it is. But it feels like the upper 90s to around 100. And notice, let's just keep going, like 9 o'clock. Still feels like 90 or the upper 80s. So, yes, muggy meter absolutely kicking in. And for those of you that are I feel like it's so funny. There are people that say every time, I'd say in the last year or so, every time I discuss the heat index, I always have to add this because people say, I don't want to hear about the heat index. The temperature is the way that it feels. No. You ever hear the term, but it's a dry heat? Here in Florida, we get the opposite, but it's a not dry heat. So here is, and I love showing this, here is the heat index formula where T equals temperature, RH equals relative humidity. If you want to write that down, please be my guest. I have solved this equation exactly one time in my life, manually. College. They made us do it. Show your work. No, I'm going to use a calculator, thanks. And then as soon as I got done with college, these big fancy computers that we have, they do it for me. Okay. So, yeah, big fancy computers do the big fancy math problems. So meteorologically, it's getting hot. The overall idea is yes, this big ridge of high pressure is just building in, and as it does so, the air sinks, it compresses, it heats. Compressional heating is the term. Yep. Isn't that so fun? Isn't that so fun? So back to the 7-day forecast we go, where yesterday we hit 96. We're going to be doing the same thing today. We're going to be doing the same thing tomorrow and getting even hotter for our Monday and our Tuesday. Man, oh man. Man, oh man, oh man. So that's where we're at, my friends. All right. Questions, comments, concerns. Questions, comments, concerns. Please remind viewers of WESH 2 of checking the back seat, please. I think that is so important. Amy, I was doing it all morning long. I'll do the exact same thing right now. That's a great idea. We made this graphic essentially to show a car, to get in the car, look at the car seat, to remind everybody don't leave your pets, don't leave your little persons in the back of a car. Please double check, please. I'm a father of two. I double check. Please. 95 degrees outside, which it will be hotter than. It takes 10 minutes for the inside to get to 114. It takes 30 minutes for the inside to get to 129 degrees. The greenhouse effect. Please. My friends, please. Okay? Yeah. Matt, hey, I saw Moon. Oh, yeah, my desktop. Yeah, the kids. Yeah. All right. So that's where we're at. Basically, this weekend, hottest temperatures of the year. Let's talk about the record numbers, okay? We'll start off with today, and just know that each day is going to be into the ballpark. Well, we already talked about that. This is how tired I am. All right, what else do we have? Ba, 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 ba. Oh, tropics. It's not hurricane season yet, but as of May the 15th, National Hurricane Center did start issuing their tropical weather outlooks. No development expected over the next 7 days' time. So there's that. 15 days to go until the beginning of hurricane season. Crazy to think, isn't it? And at least 10 days to go until the normal start of the rainy season. It doesn't go on a calendar, so there's that. Yeah. Andrew says, I had math teachers in the 90s tell me that we will never have calculators in our pocket. Ha! We shown them. You know what's funny? I don't know that I ever shared this. The really hard math stuff, I I almost failed chemistry in high school. Not because my grades were bad, but because for all of the difficult, this is so bad. For all the difficult stuff, I wrote a program on my graphing calculator with my buddy Miguel to solve all of the equations. And they let us use the calculators, but you had to do it all manually. And when the teacher found out, she almost flunked us. We ended up in the principal's office, and I'll never forget the principal saying, that's really thinking out of the box. Stop doing it, but we're not going to let you fit. Like, stop doing it, but we can't get mad at that. We didn't directly tell you not to do that. And then I tell all my interns, all the calculus you're taking in college, the amount of times I've used calculus since getting my TV weather job, I can count on 0 fingers. Now, programming and, but we have computers that do all that stuff. So I try to tell all my interns, I try to be as, stop, don't you fall. I try to tell my interns and try to be as forthcoming as I can about it all. So yeah, that's that. Um, Miss Jack's Music Lab on YouTube says, surprise, Tesla hasn't created an anti-interior overheat feature if movement is detected in the vehicle. So, Miss Jack's Music Lab, there's actually and I can only speak to Tesla, and this is not a political conversation because everything has become that. But anyway, um, Tesla has what's called cabin overheat protection. So my car, when I leave it, it finds this optimized way of running the air conditioner. It doesn't keep it cool, but it keeps it survivable. So that's one feature that is I hope that every auto manufacturer comes out with. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, so that's the answer. Matt says Eric's Kobayashi Maru was a calculator. It's so true. I don't like to lose. Take the bite of the apple. Was it an apple or was it a pear? I never thought about it like that, Matt. But yeah, I guess that was the Kobayashi Maru. That is hilarious. I have never heard of that. I mean, I've heard of it. I've never thought of it that way. How funny. My Kobayashi Maru. Thank you. Christy said I just had games on my graphing calculator. Yeah, I didn't do that. It was just it was handwritten cal chemistry equation stuff. So funny. So funny, right? Oh my God, I have to tell my buddy Miguel about that now. All right, coastal 7 day forecast, of course. Not as hot, but still hot, I think is the overall idea. Yeah. Andrew says all things lead to Star Trek 2. Exactly. Yes. Yes. Frank said we had to do it in our heads. Why? I mean, I get you need to have the basis. It's just like learning to fly. There's a lot of things that, like, I had to do a paper nav log when I learned to fly, although they were just like the iPads were just coming out. But nevertheless, I had to do a paper nav log, and because you have to learn. And I know my friends that are flight instructors today make their private pilot students do paper nav logs. Because what if this fails, right? What if the iPad fails? I have an iPhone. What if your iPhone fails? That kind of thing. Lynn says we didn't have graphing calculators. I'm old. Computers used punch cards. Use the stuff available to you, right? That's all. Frank says because we weren't allowed to use calculators. I just watched all 6 Star Trek movies this week. There's more, but point taken. Point taken. Which one's your favorite? And tell me why it's either Star Trek 2 or Star Trek 6. Terry, pencil and paper was our calculator. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm I get it. Zach says E6B, buddy. I've got one. For all the testing, I was able to use the computerized one, but I learned the slide rule. I learned the turn and burn. Zach, yeah, I still have it. It's beautiful. It's metal. I bought it from Boeing well, Boeing Jeppesen, either way. But it was metal. I didn't want a plastic one. I needed metal. Matt, you're not wrong. All right. So, any other questions about this before, and then we can go and we can look at tropics as well. Certainly, we have to go there. The big thing when I was in high school, I had to buy a Texas Instruments calculator. Yeah, TI-89 was what I used. Everybody else had the TI-83. I went with the 89 because of the programmability. All the original cast member movies. I got you. I got you, David. No, you're good. You're good, buddy. I got you. I got you. Turn and burn. Well, in order to calculate fuel burn or wind correction angle, you had to turn anyway. Oh my God, Frank, you're such an idiot. You are such an idiot. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at some model data and let's get an idea of what's to come. I've had glass avionics fail in nearly hard IFR. Not fun. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just put glass in my airplane, Zach. And it's one of those things. I mean, you could have a vacuum pump fail, but yeah, agreed. Yes. Okay. Don't be mean to Frank. Did you see what Frank typed? All right. Let's talk about the models. All right. So this is the GFS, high pressure. Bleh. There's that little front coming in Wednesday, Thursday, bringing that low pressure, that opportunity for some rainfall. As that moves out, high pressure builds back in. Looks like it's going to be a nice dry weekend next weekend. Look at that. We're near the word coffee. Bottom left corner. Little Pacific storm. Nothing crazy. All right, let's go up. Get out of there. Go back. Let's switch over to the European. There's that storm system coming off the Carolinas. You say he's an idiot. You know you did it too. Plausible deniability, thank you. All right, there's the cold front. Bup, 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 bup. Let's go one model run back because the run that we were showing does not go out that far. Another little storm system. Look at you around the 27th, 28th. I don't recall the GFS having that, but a whole lot of high pressure. So that little opportunity for rain for us around next Wednesday, Thursday may be a fairly isolated deal. We may not have a ton of opportunity. All right, we got about 2 minutes left. So anyway, take that opportunity while we can. It's an older code, sir, but it checks out. Yeah, exactly. Do kids still use the TI-83 or is that outdated? I don't know. I mean, when I was in high school 25 years ago, I used the 89. Everybody else used the 83, but the 89 had a I don't know. Lynn says, never owned a computer, only have this phone. Man, I wish that I could. I was such a computer nerd, but like this part of my life, I wish I could just disconnect from it all. Mm, I plead the fifth. Yeah, I know. All right. That's all I got. Listen, be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you for hanging out for coffee talk. Stay cool. It's going to be hot, 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 y'all. Ugh. Take it easy, okay?